Sanje Shindu Mede Boye, Kogun Da Shin La Sheba Rana Mendra La Vanda Yadaya Chetat Kansari. Tal tajun khwai na sumba thendu wa de
de chuna so
tajun mare
tanji samjin kong la zhe zhe
ju de dan da ba che de kan lo so dan da do xin nan de be xin se de ju wa
den zu zo bre
zo wa ba ma ta jin yi che che
so
现在许多学家呢参加都我在tajun早wa de khwai le na Oh yeah, Dana. Charging some says, oh.
Uta.
No.
Uta.
Calling by and Uta point. That's our sinda. Papa said you told us. Babu letter Jamsi Rena, Gui Chandu Choi, Yajo Chiwata, Guta Tim, Sergi Tendina, Nazo Zobi, Jingoda, the Tintaswa, Tintarwa,
Rob's chimney.
No, since then consider Utu.
So we finish verse 23, I think. 23. The hairs on his body are fine and soft. Each of them turn upward and to the right, and they come from the causes of abandoning distraction, and adopting virtue, and engaging in activities of ever-increasing virtue, and acting in accordance with the instructions of the abbots and gurus. So, and then the hair on his head is pure and like precious sapphire, which comes from loving concern of all sentient beings and abandoning weapons. They did this and that, and then they cut the soon yomara.
No.
They cut the. Yes, kill but the Kimboda love and the
Calosoji Dangala Tumba and Bashindu. Babu Leber Junction
on the
Kiawatans.
on the
That Gui can do down, Yajosi Chiwa, Pabo. And it's some young good like Zation, Chenja, some jan like Zation, and a shan like Chenja so Bawe, and a good like Chumamiji, and a Rinjin tending the doshin, Uda Rinjin tending the doshin down.
So the hair on his head is pure and like precious sapphire, which comes from the merit of the thought of loving kindness towards all sentient beings, and from the merit of having abandoned weapons.
Dasanya be things in Java less. That Dasanya Bakum be things in Gombale, Kunato Zobi Jinshingi, and it can go down, Java, and it could fishing Gaba.
So, and due to meditating on the concentration, which is a concentration on the equality of self and others, comes the ripening result of the rounded and full-grown holy body, which is like the compared to a Nyagroda tree.
Oh yeah, not to be Jinxi, and not to be Jinxi Jingo Cha. That didn't going to Beme Sambo, going to Sambo Beme Transon Che, said Digi. Tishishi Kusula, Kusu Rangi, and a Shambatan, Chawatan. And a good Chedan Shira song at the Ansipa Sewatan. On Jiba Uchumatan, Mizawanam, Tro Mizawanam, Dumba Chevala, and a good Sambo, Bemi be Transon Chebo, good Dindu, Passing, Chawatan, and Simiji Tongashi, or Chibam.
And then the verse 24, the sublime and incomparable body of the sage, which is firm and possessed of the power of Vishnu. These 32 inconceivable features. So the sublime and incomparable body of the sage, which is firm and possessed of the power of Vishnu, comes from the merit of having made statues, images of the Buddhas, or statues, and and through rebuilding stupas and things like that have been destroyed or broken down, giving relief to those who have fear, and relief to those who are in fear, creating harmony in amongst situations that are disharmonious. In a situation there is disharmony, then yourself taking the incentive to create harmony. So these are the results. From such a cause comes the ripening result of this 24 sublime and incomparable body of speech, firm and possessed of the power of Vishnu.
Oh yeah, that is turn to your tela. Ani. Sami Chaba Sumju Tani so Dida in the castle Dida Dembe me want to song say take Sawa.
So then the next verse, these 32 inconceivable features the teacher has declared to be the marks of the Lord of Men is like the summary.
Oh,
so this is something inconceivable for those of lower intelligence or capacity.
So
these 32 inconceivable features was taught by the Buddha in the sutra known as Ratnadarika Sutra in Pomeran Chingshu, a sutra requested by the precious daughter, or precious,
Oh yeah, that you don't change the schedule gala, and the Honda Shabana, she Jenny, you mamma Teta de Techawa, Dana, and it's Tea on the song with Deji, and then Debutella, and the chanted until Tubashawachi.
So these 32 marks, when being presented, is presented from the perspective of what are the causes to bring forth these ripening or ripened result of these 32 marks.
And to be some more Sando Dang Segala, to be some more $100 so I could pay Jeju, pay Jeju Tegi, and to be some more $100 so pay Tedaki. And then run Juletembe Kasa Jula, and then Chavati and Dio, but the top of a chamber. Picture said.
So, Sensum just saying the Danny.
Sensum is only what you can't Danny. You can't Sensum chanted and the truth of the Chasson. That to be Semo Santo dancing, Picture said you can't, Picture singing the Picture singing around Juletembe Casa, Pena to be Semo Santo in down tea, a canon dembe Casa Julia, and then Chabar, and then Chabar Jabba, really the boy.
The picture get you so
Picture, that's their shagmari.
So, and then So the 32 marks are presented from explaining what are the causes that that brings forth that ripening result, and then the 80 minor marks are presented from what are the qualities that is possessed by such an individual. So the 32 marks are presented from the causes, and the 80 minor marks is not in this text, but usually it is presented from the point of view of the result, what such an individual is endowed with.
Ani kasore rasan je gu le chung dang ta de to ta ma da ta ma ri rin je ti sa gu ra rasan je gu le chung dang lo dang mi lo kasore lo dang mi lo le chung dang ji den ma li ba me tang se ga la nian de da ran san je gi san je ta ji den ji kan de nian de da ran san je gu le chung wa dang 다양 로와다 밀로와라 총아 로와다 지된 로와다 밀로와 아니 지된이 감나 지된다 지된랜데原来 신예 바탕제 벤 뒤데 라산제 얘랑 로와다 밀로와 지된다 지된랜데 위原来 탐제 뒤데原来 탐제 뒤디 줄주와라 제가 原来 탐제 뒤데 대단 준주지
So in Ratnamala, Jewel Garland, it says to give an idea of the what it takes to the kind of the qualities it takes to make up one like Prabhupada means the one body hair or one pore of the Buddha, the qualities that it takes to generate the resultant quality of one pore of the Buddha's holy body as it arises from the merits of all of the heroes, solitary realizers, Mahayanas, from all of their merits that they gained on the path of training and on the path of no more learning, and all of the merits of the world and supramundane, all of these merits all combined together. One essence, the essence of all of these merits then is capable of generating one pore of the Buddha. Like
텐텐다 바부 다 바비 보가 레레데라 바비 보가 데라 바부 니지 추동이 와라 바부 니지 추동 바부 레레레 두발라 아니 다 사람 되지 거와 현장 바부 니지 추동 도미 사람 야주지 배제 직점
So so this gives you an idea of like how much merit is how much qualities you need to combine, merit of qualities you need to combine for one pore of the Buddha. So then it is said that there is 21,000 21,000 pores, and if you multiply all of those 1,000 times, it makes one major quality, one of the 32 major marks is what. So earlier we talked about all the merits it took for one pore of the Buddha, and the whole holy body is said to have. If you take 21,000 pores and multiply that by 1,000, then that's the merit for one major mark of the Buddha, which is one of the 32.
대인바에 산주다. 연주기 찬스 두배. 찬산식.
Kan det sten jeg tus og
배제 제주어로.
산다.
배제 제주버레리라. 된데기디 제주버레리 dom비 아니 연주지 아니 디시집에 찬산식 주봐.
I made a mistake earlier. One pore of the body, the merit of that, and if you take 21,000 pores of the holy body multiplied by 1,000, that is one minor mark of the Buddha, and that peche ke juyan joti kasonga. Peche kazegi sen.
Peche jejuwa. Peche jejubure rubi sonamde yanjuji chansanchi tuba.
And
peche jigla tajun shiwa.
So if you take the merit that it takes to generate 80 minor marks, if you multiply that 100 times, that is the merit for one major mark.
아니 찬두지게 소남 동주지 아니 저부주에.
And then and the merit of and the merit for and that merit for the major mark, when you multiply it 1,000 times, that is the merit that you need to have the mark of the Ushnisha, the crown protuberaance.
아니 저부주지 소남 동 양주지 아니 우주도 주에.
I made a mistake. It's the brow, hair, not the crown. The hair between the brows. That's when you multiply 1,000 times the merit for the major mark of the Buddha. Then that is the merit that you need for the brow hair. And then when you multiply the merit for the brow hair, another 1,000 times. 100,000. 100,000. Then is the crown Ushnisha.
되네. 저부주지 그 소남 장암해봐. 다 장암에서야 돼. 안도디.
저부 송bio, 속도 송bio. 속도 송bio.
저도 주지.
아니. 속도 출제 장암에게.
소남 안에 장암해봐기 안에서 안제 그 송주배.
And that merit that it took to create the cause for the crown protuberaance, if you multiply that merit countless times, then you create the merit for the holy speech of the Buddha.
인장 잡아꾸려 송근이 잡아 초인 세대 다 송그 잡아대 초인 다 송주발라 소는 바도 매바 다 주시야 주고야리.
So that's why when we say, of all the activities of the Buddhists, the most supreme activity is the activity of the holy speech. So this gives you an idea of how much immeasurable, inconceivable merit is required to have the Buddha's speech.
로당 밀러래 중당 아니 지대한 말이 밤에래 셋 시속이 다 소는 동주 전주 동주 아니 차를 아니 송주단데 이제 팀을 가서 또 송야래.
So as stated earlier, from the merits of the hearers, solitary realized minors, all of their merits of accumulated on the path and on no more learning, all the merits of the world and beyond this world, all combined together, and the essence of that merit, how it creates the cause for the poor of the holy body, and then when you multiply that 100 times, 1,000 times like that, then consecutively, then you have the an idea of the degree of the merits that one needs for accomplishing all of these minor and major marks of the Buddha.
Oh yeah, that's some better Java data. Better Java day. Chita Jimmy Kaisu, don't be chung Tony Tomada. The same just as Soji, chapter so, and
then we go to verse 25. As the form of the moon in a cloudless sky is seen in the blue waters of a lake in autumn, in a similar way, the body that is surrounded by the multitudes of bodhisattvas can be perceived in its reflected form on earth within the circle of adherents of the Supreme Buddha.
Oh, that is Chita depend may be Nangi, and then there is so don't get any chumombo. That don't get Gala, and then Namsi Tambo. Yarki Kaki, and the carcass and a tree, say do the ma, Gap, the Niki Kaka, and then Namsi Naga, Tamba, Jimmy Benaga, Tamba Pecha, the body. There is that Chita Pena, Jimmy Benanga, there is. So don't get chumman that the Chima may be Tony, Davisunia, and the Tamawa Shangi Toma teaching to Sangaran to Tamawa Davisunia Toma teaching to.
So, taking the example of a reflection of a moon in the clear waters of a blue lake, an autumn moon, because usually the sky in the autumn time is clear of clouds or dust or things like that. Because of that, you take the example. And so this reflection of the moon in that clear lake is just as how it is seen by all ordinary beings.
Oh yeah, then don't go chung trying to talk that teaching. And it just a choji chapter su said again. Just a change to be choji chapter su. That launch to you good down. And then just a change to Johnson Papa. And the Chanson Papa did that get launched to be good down. And the launch to go soon, Tinny, and the Duja, Castle, Regent Sumji, turn to be Chidu, and the Chocotuga number Tango, Denberger, and the Chocotugu, and Chocotugi, Goose, Ra, New Year 99, Chanson Papa Tadaki, and the launch to you good at Chocotugu, Nigan was some to watch it. Ra. Yaram Papa Gadang, Society Kajiki, Annie Society Letaba Kajiki, and the Joy Sanji Jingo, Chokutu Jingo, don't want to talk to her. That was giant.
So, just like this analogy, then Arya Bodhisattvas, just like the analogy of the moon reflected in the clear waters of that lake, in the same way, Arya Bodhisattvas are able to see the Buddha's holy body in its Sambhogakaya, enjoyment body aspect, like the analogy of the moon. And then, of course, the Arya Bodhisattvas are able to see both the Sambhogakaya as well as the supreme emanation, Nirmanakaya, and it says the Arya Bodhisattvas who see the emanation body and its reflection, meaning the Nirmanakaya, which is seen by three types of the beings. The Arya hearers, solitary realizers, and some ordinary sentient beings who have pure karma are all able to directly perceive the supreme emanation likened to the reflection.
Oh, then the Inzang, Jiri, and it's Chokutuga Tang was Yambade, and it Lama Shuna, and it's also Julia Matabaki, Chokulia Tabak. Lama Shuna Chokutugu, Julia Tababi, and it's Anjangola Tangayamba, yes.
There are some ordinary sentient beings who have the purity of the karma to take direct teachings from the Buddha, the supreme emanation form, and thereby, from a previous state of not having entered any path path, then get to enter a path.
아니 대지 최지 뒤라니 상년남나 신내다 이시 양바 톱지지 당아자지 내가 줄 세지 송하리 여기 당아년 주대 아니 자주주도 샘께네 아니 자사지 줘발라 로비 시도 아니 가소리 당아년에 돼 아니 람도 쇼네 아니 초람 그냥가네 샤그하리
So, such as these disciples who get to hear such teachings, from with pure karma from a supreme emanation, then generate the bodhicitta, then engage in the practices of a bodhisattva's way of life. So they refer to those practitioners who are able to enter the path of accumulation.
Oh yeah, that 제라 세제 논단자와 세대 다기에게 이 십장 아이기 삽세들이 임바다 세제 논단자와 세대
and then applying the explanation to the scriptural quotation, to the quotation, to the quote from the scriptures, and which says is in page 405 in the Tibetan text.
Oh yeah, that tela zawa tela.
And the root.
Jingguo nan tu tongwa juru se yuan dan zhu zhi zha xu bu de da so so ju jie de. Ku rim qi xing ren jin ji do yi ji su xie wa cha. Se di ma re yi ma ta san ju ne.
These 64 distinctive features, each taken separately with their causes, are in gradual order to be known from the Ratnadarika Sutra.
Oh, the condition what I say that Tawe Yuan de Sum Ju Zhang Do Ju Da Mi Ji Ba Xi Dang Ani Sanjie Ji Quan Ma Zhe Ba Zhe Jie Ji Su Zhang Yi Te Dang Nanmin Ji Yuan de Se Ga La Da Nanmin Ji Yuan de Se De Tai Xun Kong Du Ge Wa Te Dang Te Tai Yun Nanmin De La Nanmin Di Je Bu Di La Yuan de De La Ani Tai Yun Ka Se Nanmin Ji Yuan de Se Da Di Nanmin Ka Se Ka Shi Xu Wa Yin Ba Nanmin Se De Di Ka Yin Nanmin De Ji Dang Nanmin Ju Ni Mi Ge Ka Nanmin Lung Du Ma Den Che Se Ri Ga La Nanmin La Lung Ma Den Ba Ji Lung Du Ma Den Ba Ji Go Go Wa Re Se Wa Re Rin Da Lung Du Ma Den Da Dan Da Di Nanmin Ji De Wu Se Ga De La Lung Du Ma Den Ba Go Go Ma Re Sa Che Ge We Le Ji Nanmin Ji De Wu Te La An Lung Ma Den Ba Ji Go Wa Re Ge Wa Da Mi Ge We Le Ji Li Lu De Den Bu Ma Re Ma Re
Luma de Mares. So we're talking about the 32 qualities of abandonment, which consists of the 10 powers, the 4 fearlessness, and the 18 unique qualities of the Buddha are the other qualities of abandonment. And then you have the ripening qualities, meaning, the qualities that are explained in the context of what the causes are and the ripening result. Usually we often talk about ripening karma. So in the context of virtuous, non-virtuous karma, we could talk about ripening karma. That ripening karma usually is categorized as a neutral karma. When it is when ripening karmas are explained in relation to afflicted and non-afflicted karma. Here, in this case, when we are talking about the ripening qualities of Buddhahood, in this context, it doesn't require it to be neutral and things like that.
Oh yeah, in that, 才有人家说专业的，那么人家什么专业个对吧？ 原来主持这些本地的，说让给他就看了就把谁的，俺多不大，那么随便啦说话给空头下巴那些钱呢，俺我就看了出品就钱的，这里下边可能心都，俺父母这些修多来送来的，
So all of these 64 qualities, qualities of a Buddha, which are composed of the 32 qualities of abandonment and the ripening qualities, as as explained here, in accordance with what are the nature of these qualities, what are the causes that bring forth these kind of resulting qualities, such as the 10 powers, such as the merit that comes from receiving gurus and seeing of gurus, things like that, as explained before, is all taken from this sutra known as the Ratnadarika Sutra.
Oh yeah, that is actually that better than
So now is the illustrations.
Oh, they want to them by Java, pay them between two hours at the again.
So is this following the the outline of brief explanation, expanded explanation, summary? So in this context, so this is the part for the illustration.
That pay them between two hours. So you couldn't teach it. Javajas. Misha Badam, Mishanda, Chumba Mechi, Yomichi. Does it sink a tabeji? Chi the bedando, said in Bata.
So, this is verse 27. Being respectfully unbreakable, knowing no failure, incomparable and unchangeable, the Buddha's properties are illustrated by the example of the thunderbolt, the lion, the space, and the moon with her reflection in the water.
Oh yeah, that condition is Misha Badam, Mishandang, Silicala, Tomni, Medijo Kangijan, Mishaba, Dojetan Java.
So the powers are like a vajra, so unbreakable, indestructible. That the powers.
In them, Doji get the Sanskritilla, and Bezara said, and Mishaba Chukuari. In a Tommy Mishing and Dojishing, and Vilamazawala Jokson.
So, the power is likened to a vajra, because the vajra has the connotation, vajra in Sanskrit has the connotation of indivisibility, like you can, indivisibility, so here to denote it is an indestructible feature.
That Mishibani, Demiza Tatuba, Kana Mishamba Singitan Java, said, what that anybody? Concerning Mishibata, Mishamba, Mishibadi, Demiza Tatuba, Kanajang, Mishamba, as you Bamba Pinto, Toba Pinto Java, or Singitan Java.
So the reason why it is sort of indivisible, indestructible, is because it has that kind of firmness. It has a firmness to it, that which is undiminished. Mishamba. Mishamba is you cannot undermine. Mishamba, it has that kind of firmness like that of a lion. So indivisible and not undermined by anything, not like a line that is not undermined, so they're having the quality of not being undermined by anything, and these 18 exclusive kind of qualities of the Buddha, since it cannot be compared to anything else. It's likened to a space. It's likened to a space because you cannot compare it to any other qualities.
Oh, Nangataba Dangsia. And Sujuku Ni Sega, Longo Dan Tugu Niote, Jan Kangajan Super Chat Magic. You are maybe China, and it's cheap at Diatella. So, Michel Bada, Michenda, Tumba Mechi, your machine. Then it oh, about top Dodgetang, and Mijiba Singitang, Sanjay Chimadeba Katabatang. And it's so good, and it's cheap out of the
and the two Rupakayas, the form bodies. The two form bodies cannot be sort of destroyed or moved by anything. So it's compared to that of a reflection of a moon in the water. So the power is like the Vajra. Topni dojita. Tangbuchik sungsungke. The power is just like the Vajra, and the fearlessness. You're talking about the 10 powers. The fearlessness is like the lion, and the 8 exclusive qualities of the Buddha is likened to the pure space. And the two Buddha bodies is likened to the reflection of the and the two Buddha and the two Rupakayas are likened to the reflection of a moon, because it cannot be sort of, there's no conditions to destroy or move it.
Oh. Meji Bada Mishenda Tumba Meji, your Michi. Doji single Katabi, Ani Kazu Chi, the Bedendo, said that it was then to do somebody. So,
this is like the brief explanation. The 10 powers are likened to the Vajra, the 4 feelings to the lion, and the 18 and the 18 exclusive qualities to that of the space, and the two form bodies to the reflection of the moon. So this is like the brief explanation, and then comes the expanded explanation.
Oh yeah. That's it. Kasore. Yewa Shabatella. Toso Namla, Tom Namdang, Toso Namla, Top Trudang, Sumdan Chiki Rimbashing.
So, verse 28 of the complex of Buddha's power, 6, 3, and 1, taken respectively, remove the obscurations of ignorance, distraction, and that of defilement with its residues.
Oh, that is the
So the 6 powers refer to first of the 6 powers refer to knowing what is possible and not possible, knowing the in the elements, knowing the aspirations, knowing afflicted and non-afflicted, knowing the path. I think the first of those 6 powers, which are verse 5, is referring to that. And then you have the three qualities of the concentration, knowing past lives. Samtenda ngone jendenda.
Samtenda namda chembada ngone jidan chemba chuboda jiwa sheba.
Samtenda namtar chemba.
Sheba ngone ujina jesu chemba.
Knowing concentration, knowing liberation, and knowing past and future life. Those are the three that is being referred to.
And
the power of the last one referring to the power that knows the extinction or exhaustion of contamination. And so these first six powers, they pierce through the armor of the obstructions to omniscience. The obscuration to knowledge, obscuration to omniscience is like an armor obstructing. So they are like those six powers they pierce through that obstruction to omniscience.
Ani nyamju gidriba sipa tambo tan jawa said nyamju gidriba sana ani dinge chapa dinge jewala phado cheki ani zo chima dan goba datin zo ibare rawa wo chima dan goba ki nyamju gidriba sipa dan jawa de sipa jawa dan sipa dan jawa injang sipa said ibare sipa
and then the other, what do you call 6 and 3? The other three then they cause the destruction or the kind of dismantling of all of the obscuration to equipoise. In order to have that meditative state, meditative stabilization, you have the obscuring factors of mental agitation and mental sluggishness. So these latter three are what kind of causes the destruction or the pulling down of this massive firm wall of this obscuration to equipoise.
Lately, Console, there is one Yumubijuba, Patata Java, Green Sawa, and the Shin Jabashim, the Jabichi, Puta Shik than Jessico, that not somebody, Sabasabab Sabitopte.
And the last power, which is the power of the exhaustion of all contamination, then that is compared to like uprooting a tree, cutting down a tree, then cutting down all of the obscuration of afflictions and its imprints. So in this way you have the piercing through an armor, the breaking of a wall, and the cutting down of a tree. So this is how one should understand the power of the 10 powers, the capacity of the 10 powers. So now to explain the meaning behind how it is indestructible or indivisible.
领导人的密切白长生当的多这扎，是吧？知道吧？
Oh yeah, as if they were piercing an armor, breaking a wall. 看这个，领导看第什么？
啊，领导，再说，领导人的密切白长生当的多这扎。
The powers of the sage are like a thunderbolt, being steady, essential, firm, and unbreakable.
那的另外当，宁波当、电巴当、电巴当、电巴当密切白长生过当的多这当掌握，是吧？
So, being steady, being essential, being firm, being unbreakable. These are these powers of the Buddha sage are like that of a Vajra.
那军前看给另外当，安尼电巴当、电巴认为是呢？
So, what are the reasons for these qualities of being steady, essential, firm, and unbreakable?
看起另外人不是，现在大唐不的人不另外军前的。
It is steady because it is essential.
安尼，缺那么的人不踏土吧，踏土不起。另外一个缺那么的人不踏土不。
It is steady because it is the essential quality of the phenomena. The ultimate essence of the phenomena. The reason why this is the essential quality of the phenomenon or phenomena is because it is because of it being ultimately firm.
It
is firm because it is not breakable by any kind of disharmonious discordant conditions. There is no opposite conditions or discordant conditions that can cause it to break. So in that way it is unbreakable, ultimately unbreakable. Verse 30. Why are they steady? Because they are essential. Why are they essential? Because they are firm. Why are they firm? Because they are unbreakable. And being unbreakable, they are like a Vajra. Because it is unbreakable by any kind of discordant conditions, causes and conditions, so it is like a Vajra. And so next is the teaching and the explanation on the fearlessness, being free from fear and independent, being firm and possessed of the highest dexterity. The line of the sages is like a real line, always fearless within a circle of hearers. So, free from fear and independent, meaning that there is no fear of any kind of disharmonious or discordant conditions.
아니 시안라 되와메 비치당.
And not dependent on another.
아니 삼바 땜 비치당.
And being firm because firmness in the thought.
삼바 땜 비 준전 뒤에나 미딘조 준비 자 표준 초와 안에 투와 가서를 미 생기다 이자고 생기진도 코지 추수 초수 아니 지바 명아위 미지비한테 담바래.
So having attained this kind of highest dexterity, so the Lord of the sages, meaning the Buddha, is like a fearless lion in amongst a gathering of the gathering of the hearers.
다디 샤발라 공을 쳔배 강래장 해야지.
So the explanation is verse 32. He has a clear knowledge of everything.
일단 다시 얘가 미지바셔디 가라 라한테 또바 편조 탐제와라 미지바 시가나 시직된 최 탐제 무슨도 시바 민자 또바 탐제라 미지바 샤와나 신전이 예 다가나 그래서 공의 첨배 강래장 지메바 시가
So because he has a clear knowledge of everything, then there is no fear. Just like when we talked about earlier, fearless with regards to making a pledge of having all the realizations, realization of all objects of knowledge directly. So fearless in that knowledge, fearless in making the statement with such a realization.
이자 세자고 무슨도 챔배 아니 지벽이 주심파 주세비치 주칸라야 지바 매바니 넘버 내와고 세가라.
So because of having that direct knowledge of all phenomena, so the Buddha has exhausted all causes of fear and remains in a state of being totally without fear.
디제라 답에 섬제 양다된 세디로 무침에 지면반에 남반에 답에 섬제 양다된
And therefore he abides without fearing anything, whatever it might be, and he is fully independent, since his perception is by nature incomparable, even with that of those who are purified.
타바스나 니엄바 말리바에 타비 섬젠당 나니 섬젠당 나니 미념신 이러한 니엄베 타비 섬젠당 나니 미념신 타방 무슨도 세비체레스 까다인다 니엄바 타바디 빵바 편조 표준 좋아라 미치바 따디디 나는 빵바 편조라 미치바데 니엄 말리바 타베 아니 So,
since his perception is by nature incomparable, meaning incomparable with regards to others who have purified the affliction of the obscuration of afflictions, incomparable with even those beings who have purified the affliction. The obscuration of affliction. Why? Because of the extraordinary direct perception.
Oh, yeah. Do me about Tuni number 탐제도 제주도 내외치나 땜봇 니도. 소도니 개바도 말이 파샤레바 세비치 세간데 또바 탐제와다 빵바 또바 빈조 탐제와는 미지바당 방법부터 탐제와는 미지바 이와티 세기사리 이와티
당부디 한수는 받아.
야
당부디 한수는.
당부디 투니 현재 되어 몇 번 오체 제대로 봐. 왜냐면 좀 야체. 다 뒤턴다 가리 된거 말해서나 투나 안 투니 최 탐자 무슨这几对那位亲那点吧这个让的多把他们家完了没去把钱说对的钱把都买的人家就来塞比些
And so the holy mind, where he is fully independent, referring to the holy mind that perceives everything directly, and in that regard, having no fear to make the pledge of his realizations. Number time check him.
这什么意思？我听着早点的，突然全让他们家了，这些钱呢，等把你早点。
This, the single-pointed knowledge of all, all phenomena is what is with regards to the pledge of all realizations.
초도 말을 파자지 살아 아지 짜대노 쓰리가나 아니 된다지 초도대 캬바도 말이 파자지 레사발 빵비실 빵비지 가서 말이 사발은 가위에서 짜단다 말에 세나 빵바 탐자를 미스바티체
and having the dexterity in which they have abandoned obscuration of afflictions, as well as imprints, is in the fearless statement with regards to their abandonment. So he's firm in his knowledge, since his mind is always concentrated upon all the elements of existence, and as he has overcome the force of illusion, the obscuration of afflictions and his imprints, and is possessed of highest dexterity. So you can also apply the context of the pledge of the antidote in the previous case. And the latter you can understand it in the context of the fearless the abandonment for the benefit of others. The fearless pledge of abandonment for the benefit of others.
Excuse me, the latter.
Chima khadil sungyasa.
Chima de bangba tamjawala michiba.
Bangba tamjawala.
Bangba tamjawala.
Shandun bangba tamjawala michiba de khalil jana sungyasa.
Mari pachagi less ever bangba.
With regards to having abandoned, all of the imprints of the affliction of ignorance.
아니 투치다 영어좀 제주 나와서데 아니 현대도 님보 받자말라 겨와라 탐자와 세테.
So
님보 줘라 탐자와테.
So when we talk about he is firm in his knowledge, since his mind is always concentrated upon all elements of existence, this is with the pledge of the fearless pledge of the antidote. And then and as he has overcome the force of illusion and is possessed of the highest dexterity, referring to the pledge of the abandonment for the benefit of others.
Then
so now third is the explanation with regards to the 18 exclusive qualities of the Buddha. So verse 34, with the worldlings, with the Shravakas, with those that act in solitude, with the sages, and with those of self-originated knowledge, the wisdom is respectively higher and higher and is of more and more subtle character. It is therefore illustrated by 9 examples. So the worldlings here refer to those who have not attained the path and the true path. And then Shravakas and Pratyakas, those who act in solitude.
And with
the sages meaning the bodhisattvas. And here self-originated refers to the Buddhas. The wisdom is respectively higher and higher and is more and more subtle character, referring to those wisdoms of the worldlings, the Shravakas, the Pratyakas, the Bodhisattvas and Buddhas. Their wisdom is higher and higher and is more and more subtle character.
Because
of their differences in their grossness and subtleness, then they are illustrated by these 9 examples. So the first 4 referring to the ordinary beings, the Shravakas, hearers, solitary realizers, and the Bodhisattvas are common in these worlds. They are therefore similar to the 4 elements: the solid, the liquid, the hot, and the moving elements, air. And the 18 exclusive qualities of the Buddha, as they surpass everything mundane and supramundane, have a resemblance with the element of space. So these 18 qualities, exclusive qualities of Buddhas, there's no comparison, to anything, in this world or beyond this world. Those who have attained the path, the Arya path of learning, and so forth. There's no comparison to them, to those qualities, and so the 18 exclusive qualities are likened to the element of space.
ngawa sanje ji beang ja runga zamo se tu se se de injili.
So here it's not saying that the space is like the Buddha, but that you can use the example of space for the Buddha, but it's not like saying the Buddha is like space, because in the Buddhahood and qualities of Buddhahood, there's nothing that you can compare. So.
Jiden kunji nyuju ji saju melung namda tun. Jiden dewa yi chenyi le de nanga xing che, right? Teda hode che da tuen duwa di imba cha tima, imba tuen duwa mara, yuanden tena jawa de bete chudi xaba se ti niwa, ti tuen duwa. Teda yuanden sumju ni zanyi bu di, chugu rabdu chiwi yuanden di, nubu rinje yue sawa dang, nubu rinpo che yue sawa dang, do dang, ib dang. 네 누구 코란랑 오타대 밤에바 나신 전님 연대 태남장 안에 산제지 추구랑 오타대 비와야 말에 세야되라 다자와라 대다 연대 숨준이 니디 추구 랍체대是吧 누구 이제 여다다 왜도다 입시 여와 매치로.
So if you take the example of a precious gem, and the shine, the shape, the colors of that precious gem is inseparable from the nature of that precious gem. And likewise, those qualities of the Buddhas are inseparable from the Dhammakaya of the Buddha. So for that you have verse 36. Of these properties, 32 of these properties, 30 and 2, represent the Buddha's Dhammakaya body, being inseparable from it like the form, the shine, and the color of a precious stone.
Oh yeah, that dig. Oh, 자유 연장 그 천지 샤바티 청차 와체. 단남이 연장 그 천지 샤바테라.
So this completes the explanations with regards to the illustrations for the qualities of abandonment. Now to present the illustrations for the qualities of the ripened results.
다들 연단 된다. 제와다 배든 최진 샤바 이나네. 연단 된다 제와데. 통나 첨제 연단강 숨주 장이写차와. 如果确认做把你弄着做过你来等，谁的听不着？
The root text for just the 37, the other 32 distinctive features which being perceived arouse delight are those peculiar to the Nirmanakaya body and to that which completely enjoys the truth, means the Dhammakaya.
다들라 통나 세 통나 첨지 연단강 세대기 두자 남주 무슨도 통나 다들다 수고 초고 주고다 수고 그봐 두자 남주 무슨도 통나 이츠벌 체비 연단강이 봐 안에다 찬숨주 장이다 배제 상보 초고 주고 꾸라 찬상보 순주 장이写샤와 초고 주고 꾸당 아니 대바치면 철라로 저바 롱제바니 롱제 저요 구 꾸니지 디비 수군이라 담바레 세야되라.
So the disciples who are able to directly perceive the two form bodies, the two Rupakayas, the Sambhavakaya and the Nirmanakaya, then they are able to experience the delight, the complete satisfaction of such a sight. Those who are able to see the 32 marks of a supreme emanation form, and those on the minor path who enjoy the minor dharma, those that directly perceive the Sambhogakaya, the Buddha's body of enjoyment, then they are the ones who experience that great delight, that great satisfaction.
Oh yeah. We need to that bedin chedi 가서 cheya de la bedin chedi cheya de la ruwa chela lonzo ruwa chela zowa ni lonzo zogo ni la chi ta le ren na nian lam na ji den jia yu jung go du chu dan na ga da su xin se de rin ba.
Next answer. To those that are far and near from purification, abiding in the circle of the victor of the world, these bodies appear in two forms, like the moon's reflection in the water and like her true form in the skies.
아니, 다래 세대 두자 섬전 레타바 초구 무슨 자와라 득제기 주반 득제기 레타바
So ordinary sentient beings who have pure karma referring that they have no karmic obstructions to see the supreme emanation body of the Buddha. To those of far and near from purification, referring to sentient beings of pure karma who do not have the karmic obscuration to see the Nirmanakaya.
当年的让上节说看他把来，让上节说看他把来，都叫人话说的。当年对的让上节说是给我听着，都叫人话。
So
都叫人话那了，今天都去那个大约数年前都，你吃过这个同个人是吃过这个家。
So the Shravakas. The Shravakas and the Pratikas, the hearers and solitary realizers, whose basic element has been purified, then they are, in the context of those who are far and near, means they are referred to as the far. The Shravakas and the Pratikas, whose they are able to see the supreme emanation, the Nirmanakaya form, like that of the reflection of the moon in the lake. So when we talk about who have purified the basic element, meaning that they have purified their karmic obscuration to directly perceive the supreme emanation form, Nirmanakaya. So because they have purified the defilements of the element, the basic element, that obscure the direct perception of the supreme emanation, so they are able to see supreme emanation forms of the Buddha like the reflection of the moon in the water.
장생 바바 대다 아니 롱제 조유고 무엇을 통하라 이제버리 제박이 감기 땡기 레드 드바디 타니 타발레 아니 도자녀와 타치비 장주선바 남라 장바 대다라 제외经过 난게 다수신도 다 롱제 조유고 무슨 통하
because of having purified the defilements of the basic element, these Arya Bodhisattvas then are able to directly perceive the Sambhogakaya, the Buddha's body of enjoyment, because of having purified the obscuring factors to perceive this form, and so so they are able to see the Sambhogakaya abiding in the circle of the victor of the world.
감기 땡기 초고 주고 자 무슨 자제 감 타바네 내때네 아니 초고 주고 무슨 통화 아니 도자래다 초고 주고 무슨 도자래다 지당 아니 산에 디셈바 롱주 주고 무슨 자와기 감기 땡기 처마 타바기 롱주 주고 무슨 통화 아니 나바 니요와래 자 다송이 바래 나바 니 시켜와쳐.
So, when we talk about that there are two types of beings who see these two forms, the supreme emanation form and the enjoyment body. Nirmanakaya and Sambhogakaya. In the case of the first, those beings who have purified the basic element to purify the obscurations, and are they thereby able to see that supreme emanation form, and bodhisattvas are on the bodhisattva levels who have purified the obscurations to being able to directly see the enjoyment form. Then are the two types of beings that see these two bodies.
Oh yeah. That is really chanting, but to what you do, I'm going to go to the number year. Tabani denji, Lubuji Timadang, and the Rashi Timen. 타바니라 템비 장주라 템비 연대지 갑디 우디 숨바고 라 다 타바니 된세디 고소레 방도기 연대디 라시 천나바 타바당 다 수구 딘저라 타바니 된세디 가르르서나 아니 타바니 된세가 라시 타비 연대 고바대당 밤에 뒤에 연대대당 아니 가수래 루부지 루부 라시지 답에 반배 뒤에 연대당 또배 뒤에 연대니 어디 안 수고텔라 가사디 뒤에 댐바 인상 아니 수고텔다 연대다 반도 뒤에 연대다 댄스 거래 고람 반비 연대다 또비 연대다 말이데 그러와 고 가사디 뒤에 수고텔 댐바 인상 아니 가수 반도 연대다 댐바 인다 트레 연대 댄스
So, endowed with the two purities, the state of enlightenment, which is endowed with the two purities, the purity of the natural defilements and the purity of the adventitious defilements that make up in the quality of abandonments and the quality of realizations. So the form body of the Buddha, the Rupakaya, the Rupakayas are the bodies that possesses these two purities, but the form body itself you cannot say is a that it is a purity of natural defilements or a purity of the adventitious defilements, but because of having attained the purity of natural defilements, those abandonments, the qualities of those abandonments, those cessations, then the form bodies possess those qualities.
Oh yeah, that is the teacher. Go to be the hours. Oh, some of the daughter Sony Dan, Jashi, Lamji Juba, Suji Zani, Chandaji, the Suji, Juzilla, Mangachi, Evgeny, Kombachi, Shaba, instead of Mogacha. That teacher, Yuan La Dembic Chile, said that Bandoji and then Teta, Rangula Dembe, 아니 누자라 가서 도지 텐주비 아니 틀에 쳐야 돼. 다 변해다 담발에 용인자. 다 틀에 타마시고 군자디에 말.
So this completes the chapter on the analysis of the sources of the three jewels called the sublime science of the great vehicle. So and then because the Buddhahood has all these qualities of abandonments, qualities of realizations, and so as a result of that, then you have the activities fulfilling the welfare of the disciples. And so it is for that reason you have the chapter on activities presented last.
아니 도시 감당 삼바다 팔라냐 치다와 신도 천백이 아니 도자라 도자 소소라 아니 랑도 친지 말을 봐 땜바기 현지라 출신지 아니 군조습니다 아니 대유 군조습들 아니 군조습 톱지 창조지 최대한 때나랑 그 톱지 아니 군조습지 그래 대뒤지 군조습 대잡지 군조습니다 유적도 주 군조습 못해 아니다 로 담배 가서 마셔.
So in the first chapter, in order to teach the unmistaken practices of what to adopt and what to abandon in accordance with the disciples' dispositions, interests, and latent potential, in order for the three refuge to be generated within the mental continuum of the disciples, then in order to show them the means to attaining it, then you have the causal refuge, the explanation of the causal refuge, and the explanation of the resultant refuge, the attainment, in the first chapter.
가소리 감된 적이 뒤잡 대다기 아니 감그 정말 정당 아니 정말 타발라 때네 아니 정말 정이 탑 간데 예배 정말 대다 정 누다 문이 정말로 보고 정말 생각나 가려서나 감지라시나 정말로 마시와 인자 감 아니 섬지라시 예사와당 정말로 보고 인바당 정말 대다 년보를 때네 림싱 체다도 춘성 로주여와디 다 감긴내가라 마tempa.
And in the second chapter you have the presentation of the element or the basic element in order to present the causal refuge in the then explaining how all of the defilements that are there, then explaining how these defilements can be purified, showing the method to that purification, explaining how one is capable all of that, because the defilements are advantageous. They are advantageous because they do not exist in the nature of the mind, which is luminous and clear light. And so because of that, the defilements are advantageous, and thereby, when antidotes are applied to it, then those defilements become less and less and less, and eventually removed.
탈 아니 녀바다 시지르바 말리바 빵베기 이 빵바디 톱고 연이장 아니다 남대다 공발라 때네 장주기 나가서 장주 토제기 아니 어리 빵자 봉주다 녀보동 겔람 녀모냥수 연주되다 르바 신도 냥수라네 탈을 가르 토그래서나 아니 다반이 된 장주대 토그 와 인장 아니 레우 디가서 디제라 감고제라 장주셔야지.
So because in explaining the basic element, then you talk about the clear light nature of the mind, where all of the defilements are adventitious, and when antidotes are applied to it, these defilements become less and less, and eventually then one accomplishes an attainment which is a state of the abandonment of these two obscurations. And this comes about by meditating on the path. And so that's why then the third chapter is on enlightenment, the way in which one abandons the object of abandonment, the way in which one should cultivate the practices of the antidotes, and thereby attain the enlightenment, which is made up of these two states of purity. So after being explained, what are the purifying phenomena what are the purifying phenomena for the defilements, beginning with the devotion to the Maya Dharma, with such as these practices, then when one eventually gets to purify all the defilements of the basic element, then as a result you have the enlightenment. And then comes the next chapter explaining what are the qualities of this enlightenment.
차단 넘버 미미 인데 세대기 아니다 란데 구다 현대 유구 세대 란데 추구다 현대 수구 세 란데데라 추구데라 아니 방바 추구다 도바 추구 니세 현대 수구데라 아 런제 도비구다 아니 주유구 니도 세
And then when explaining the qualities, then you talk of the qualities of the self and qualities for the others. The qualities for the self is the Dhammakaya, which is the Dhammakaya of abandonments and the Dhammakaya of realizations, and the qualities for the sake of others is the Buddha's body of enjoyment and the emanation, supreme emanation body. These are the qualities of the abandonment. These are the qualities attained. And then when we talk about the qualities of that Dharmakaya, for this, the perfect benefit for the self, the Dharmakaya, then you talk about the qualities of abandonment, which refer to the 10 powers, the 4 fearlessness, and the 18 exclusive qualities of that Dharmakaya, of that Buddhahood. And then the qualities of that Sambhogakaya and Nirmanakaya is presented in the form of those 32 marks.
아니 도자라 틀에 주바 챵발라 아니 틀에 조데 콘도샤바 나신체니 송제된 그 주타주야게 자바 끌라 송근이 자바 초인 대아인 제니가라 다바게 송그 자바데 인장 다준 가서를 연대마 dom디 자바 아니 가서를 타마데 송그 자바데 송주가 시작도와 인데 송대기 아니 송제된 그 추주라 때네 아니 도지주라 아니 산제 그 틀에서 초대 아니 도자님 진양수 람발라 때네 다 도자 장부 송그 틀에 되라 당보되라 남지 때라 거바스 남지 때라 거바스나 대를 가서래 南宋的那喇叭他的去准备单上坡，他这个单上坡的过来的了，那么就单了过吧，是啊，
So and then, in order to be the recipient of the activities of the two rupakayas, the two form bodies, then, as stated before, then in amongst all the qualities of amongst all the activities of the Buddhas, then the activity of the holy speech is the most supreme. The speech which cares for the sentient beings by showing the path. And so, how does this activity engage the sentient beings, the disciples? Is the disciples of the three types is first by enabling the disciples on the path, on the basis of the path. So what enabling the disciples or placing the disciples on the basis of a path means, freeing them from low realms, enabling them to have a basis of the path, which is the attainment of a perfect human rebirth.
Oh yeah, that didn't tambo de la tira tambo de la casore that the casore. 디생고와 치스디 렌이 김이 잡아도 코와 치스 마동거 봐도 안에지 산재기 틀에 김이 잡아도 김이 맞아래 괜찮게 말다 틀에 주발라 누자 코랑기 뭐네 안에 틀에 줘야기 안에 찬이지 참고하러 대마산의 틀에 줘야 맞아 누자 코랑기 뭐네 산재기 틀에 줘야기 안에 가서래 줘야기 튼전제 차상 창조나 안에 산재기 틀에 줘야
So the activities of the Buddhas exist. The activities of the Buddhas exist continuously until the very end of samsara. But for us as disciples, to be the recipient of those activities of the Buddha, for us to be engaged by those activities of the Buddhas, then we need to have, disciples need to have causes and conditions to be the recipient of those activities of the Buddhas, or to be engaged by those activities of the Buddhas. The disciples from his own side must have the characteristics, or must have the causes and conditions to be engaged by those activities of the Buddhas, which are said to be continuous and until the very end of samsara. So without those causes and conditions or characteristics on the part of the disciples, then we cannot be engaged by those activities.
온도 쟁기 가수들이 소화래. 전남 시위래 다남 시당 세가라 도와 시와. 도와 시와 세가라 도와 시가라 아니 도와 상보타 상보 많이 봐 세가라 안주 때. 도와 당보 안주 동안 영화 시와 지당 시위 아니 남지 때라 거 봐. 대나 거기 동안 영화 시위 니시라 거 봐. 들어봐 인자. 토마데라 아니 남지 때라 거 봐. 같이 쉬지 말이.
So, as stated within the Abhisamaya Alankara, the ornament of clear realizations, that first then enabling the migrated beings to achieve the pacification of birth in the lower realms, and then pacification of birth in samsara. So of these two, then first and foremost is achieving the pacification of birth in the lower realms, so that one has the basis to practice the Dharma, which is the attainment of a higher rebirth, a perfect human rebirth.
Oh yeah, then the castle, Lamji Dana Gobara, Chepa Inzang, and then Lamlin Galaya, 라빈 뒤된 값소양 남조주라 천이 창리된 많이 봐도 사실 명외 뒤에 마삼이 비둘라도 고슴디돈 팀면 봐봐 사반에 주정 진도 도시 상황 때 맞지 전이 다 중요해 된 말이 봐 남조주라 남지 때 시주배 대상 상보지 많이나 아니 남 주부 체장 최산의 명화 인장我的 남지 땡了땡 최수배 땡 상보지 용해 제라 아니 규조라 배그 말지 가소리 규조 두개당 땡 상보터 봐라 가진 안 뒤도 샤고야 돼 당부도 소용 말이
So it is for this reason that in the in Lamrim 2 on the graduate path to enlightenment 2, then it talks about accomplishing the means to practicing the supreme path, which is the basis of a perfect human rebirth. And for that purpose, then to accumulate all the causes, so that one has the result of a perfect human rebirth, which the basis to be able to practice the supreme path and to sort of purify all the obstacles to such a rebirth, such abandoning the 10 non-virtuous actions and purifying the negativities and the downfalls, purification and abandoning of the non-virtue that obstruct us from attaining a perfect human rebirth, the perfect basis to practice the supreme path.
칠레샤도 간라야 숨바 연대라 댐비 칠레샤발라 참자와다 전샤바 르 참댐바 담보 세승 그 참자 천주그 참자체 다 참자 되면제 단이와 되라 아니 너댐바다 자와샤바 이예변아니 칠레주바 베주바 와 당나 어쩌 지게라
So then again, when we go to that, it first goes to the outline, kind of the link and the meaning and the brief explanation, the expanded explanation, and then it begins with explaining the meaning behind, being engaged by these Buddha activities.
다 담보도 흔지집에 된다 받잖아. 온도 담나 매와 남바 샤바. 세상에 다 주셔야 돼. 온도 담나 매와 남바 샤바. 와.
So those Buddha activities 흉기주보다 가수와
흔지집에 거나 된다 봐세. 유매제비 된다 봐. 이 연구도 sabject 오잖아.
So the Buddha activities are spontaneous and continuous, and so showing the meaning behind that. And so the first is talking about the meaning of the spontaneous activities of the Buddha. So and that refers to the kind of mewa khale tewe tensal mewa sombre 숭기 두바다 칼스마
말이 린지주비 된다 받아 규미셰비 된다 봐 니셰 til에 린지주바다 til에 규미셰바
dilapsa.
다 담보되라 온도 담나 매와 남바 샤바 세데.
So the first is the aspiration to attain a higher rebirth.
인자다 타바다 탐제 제비 공방 간대지 루기 있나양 따땡 천이 장와지 거와 인장 타나这车치마 원디 공방 잠지 등간자지 있나양 안에 대주제기 안에 틀에 산제기 틀에 줘야 돼. 와 인장 원도 잠라 매봐 남바샤바.
So in order to attain liberation and enlightenment, one needs the basis of a rebirth that has all the characteristics to accomplish liberation and enlightenment. And even just to attain a higher rebirth, then one must have some sort of wish, some aspiration for a higher rebirth. So that's the first activity, the activity that invokes this kind of aspiration to attain a higher rebirth. So we'll stop here for today. Any questions? Go ahead.
I'm not sure how to ask this, but I'm curious about the supreme emanation form. Like, for example, 1,000 Buddhas are supposed to manifest in this eon in that form.
Do they have?
They exist at other times other than when they're manifesting as a wheel-turning Buddha on this earth?
Depend chogu chugu se tak ta inde kasan sange tong yu pigre se chi she zu jorwa ben jiden di on to tanje di ne kapsu chogu chugu number paper chine jiden shimele zeba zegoresa
kanla kandu bi zeba zegore ka chogu chugu number tenga ne chogu chugu number an shamba ji kanso ji wa chugu number ten ne ji wa
jiden kam shimele which says that even if you have one supreme emanation in our world, at the same time, then it has emanations in other world systems, in other forms other than a supreme emanation form. Whatever emanation is required for the benefit of a particular sentient, they will manifest as that. Yeah, go ahead.
Meaning commentary for saying 9 examples versus what Tibetan seems to say with 5 examples.
Pegu, khari pegu chsunya chwe, tina pegu chdu. Sawalna.
Salcha kwado, shu kwado.
Sawa.
Shu.
Sawena.
Sawa kwa.
Sawa shlokas. One it's in shlokas shivatrisha. One it's in. Jikten yente.
Ana jikten de.
Jikten yente.
Michi basha de kware, jikten kwa.
Michi kwamare.
Na.
Di khari shi suya chuba de jikten bata yente.
Sawa da kachi labda. Jikten yente. 저 과연의 대직대인의 타진도 안에 직대인의 타진도 로당 저당 랑주나 권의 권도 로당데 차지변의 남방아 세대들와 와 다디디
안 인치디나 베구스치샤
남 베구카네
베nga레
남방아와 베남방아 베지 남방아 니 다디리 지대 군지 니지지 담보대라 사주 메론 담대 직체 아니 남방아데 지대는 대화다 배제다 난가셰 지대는 대화다 대승으로와 담보 지우데 지대당 타지도 아니 랑된 권한 등게게 냐란이당 아니 런데 chanchu sembache 와 냐란이체 런데 chanchu sembache 직대체 대다그 빼라 가르래서나
사주멜롱
나 대다데 사주멜롱 배어디 배거래
So it's therefore illustrated by 5 examples. The world, ordinary beings, Shravakas, Pratikas, and Bodhisattvas by the 4 elements, and the Buddha, self-originated knowledge. The Buddha by the space are the 5.
좋아. 되네 지보대. 지단 대화에 천일라다 난가신 쓰리가나. 아니다. 배탐제래. 지단 바탐제래 대화 인장. 난가라 탐해 봐신이 난가다 배차바체.
So by the properties of the Buddha, as they surpass everything mundane and supermundane, have a resemblance with the element of space.
누자 상제지 토비 두지래 다바 남라 소스기보다 년도당 랑 상제 디마레 베디 마르와 오데 수년신도 초고주 통화당 도자 타발에 와도 전서바 중국은 난가신도 수구 통화에 조나반이 시어서 되려면도 다 담아들이자 다에게 지대바당 년대 타지도 란대 줘봐젠 지대바체 년대체 타지도 란대 줘봐젠 년대당 라산제체乱点 자주 선바체 제 시티체 양다바 조비 산제 권내 권도 로타 차위是忽然做了安不知吧我有的话安不什么我有气别人那么我写话抄他唐不修的可是是呢几点把他年对当让人当长期生吧这个了唐不修却那么几点规矩土木的你这个男人是唐几点把给土木的安尼我抄个男人唐为男人是实际没弄那么冲把的实际没弄几点把他们这个你我抄完这通有的话，我等一站得他的是。上届个去马这把的几点把当，按你上届来先比，按你几点来的原来就乘以了点哇，哪个许多的是，是吧？上届800上，可能就有点蛮多，按你。告诉几点到几点来的吧，就有马的是个的。
So the 4 elements, though,
对不对？
earth, water, fire, wind, these are the elements that are in commonly experienced by, the worldly beings, the Shravakas, the Pratyekavas, and the Bodhisattvas, whereas the 18 exclusive qualities of the Buddha is likened to space because, that those 18 qualities are the exclusive experience of the Buddha alone.
几点不切，然后上街来先比，他几点能电话是呢？按那罗瓦给，产电话的话产几点能电话罗瓦，像什么推荐的话的，我听到给原点去趁你来电话，哪个是都写我瞧我是
So those 18 qualities of the Buddha that surpass the worldly and beyond this world, supermundane, referring to the Arya, the Bodhisattvas, like that, those qualities, they surpass that, and so in that respect, they have a resemblance with the element of space.
Yeah.
So, can you just ask?
Ask what?
If the English is just simply wrong, then might that be...
Yes, just 5, huh? Yeah, 5, just 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we go back to Friday afternoon?
Okay.
Under the 10 powers, in the commentary on page 259, of the faculties. And I believe Rinpoche said that this is a result of meditating on conventional and ultimate bodhicitta as one's meditation deity.
Ale kasan sapasan nimade kunzobda chanjusem rangi yedum gil ha gomne jikcharis. Kunzobda chanjusem rangi yedum gil ha gomne sajik. 즉 이동길 하고 미야지 순수한.
생각 때문에 군조다. 그래서
Do you see that? It's just a comment.
Page 259.
Need, no, I don't. And we're looking for the Tibetan forgiveness.
Sorry,
What section? Can you describe the section?
the 10 powers. It's the beginning of the 10 powers. From Friday afternoon. Yeah.
So no, it doesn't have markings like that. The comment. Huh? 10제 초기.
10제 초를 그래서다.
Did you find the line?
Not yet.
지 전담다 전주 군섭다 전주쌤 지금 이동 하고.
알레 거도다. 10제 초기 과. 工作上就说没多少，就接触了。是不是做了工作全说没多些？头有人在下巴的对吧？听你打听嘛，对吧？好多。
看看个地卡萨。
我这个没得考。
工作上常常生给移动给他过没来冲着赛就是。
工作上常常我穿一等车过嘛是呀，别人没啥多少钱，听过嘛的吧？
看个松是的。
对。
看个松。
好多，这没多真的。他生意讲就去的，生意挺好的。
Look for it tomorrow. Look for it tomorrow. Okay. Yeah.
说啥我们人家都没得。
단지 경기 가수를 때 상계기 최마대버 쪽쪽제디 남파 잡으래 마신 남파도 충분 말했어.
그 상계기 최대다 천재기 배 지다고 천재기 배지 직대는 매화 인장 지단 배 된대죠 말했어. 이나야 다 난가지 최종 잠라 배자를
Generally, we say that there is nothing in this world that could symbolize what these qualities of the Buddhas are about. But you use this resemblance of the space because just like how space is completely free of being obscured. In that context, you present space as the alternative kind of thing. Illustration, yeah. You have to say the line. Shibjet true. One is the Yiktan Sumba. Shibjet one is the Yiktan Sumba.
Lang Navada, Shibjet true. Quite what that is true.
Shibjet true Yiktan, one is the Sum, Tambo, Nivasumba. One is
the truth.
One is the Sumba.
I let the letter Mando. Shibjet true the way. Jimmy true. There are Mudu de Maya, Miki lady
406. Shibjet true.
And you said, I did. There than the one. Eat them, eat them, Dambas, eat them, eat them, cigar marda. You get them, Dambas, cigar mando.
Yigi Tamja.
The Kagarda, eat them, Yigi Tamja Dambos, Mando, eat them, cigar mati.
It doesn't mean deity, it means Yigi Tamja Dambo. A firm pledge of the mind, focusing on the two bodhicittas with a firm pledge of the mind. The true bodhicittas, the conventional and ultimate bodhicitta, together with its entourage, it says, should be accomplished with a mind which is bound or pledged. So I think I made the mistake in the book. I translated it as a deity. I think I should have translated it as mind bound.
Little Neither name but keep it up the cigar. Neither name should be Kala, Della Carasana, you go a chavala, do Dewa Chumata, you Miguel Chavala, do Tunga Chuma, o teta la lende ki dewa la ngewa tempo chidang ane sanje suku chisu ku tuwe de kawar tena dugo re sana kuzo chanchu ku semdang tanda chanchu ku sem nyugomba la tena sa ane kaso re sanje ku chisu ku dugo yinzang lende ki dewa ngewa dang le ngewa pe chewa ma chewa matama chewa teta dang chanchu ku sem yu kodang chewa la yiki tamche tempe ko ne dugo re se ta dirisi go re.
So, with the firm conviction of karma, with regards to, that non-virtue brings the result suffering, that virtue brings the result happiness. With that kind of certainty of karma increasing, certainty of the karma that one doesn't experience, for which one has not created a cause, and so forth like this. With that kind of firm certainty with regards to karma, then one should rely upon the two practices of the bodhicittas with the firmness of the mind, or with the pledge of the mind, in order to accomplish the result of the two Buddha bodies. So the result of the two Buddha bodies, the truth body and the form body of the Buddha, arises out of the merits of these two bodhicittas, the conventional bodhicitta and ultimate bodhicitta. And so with that firm conviction of the karma, then one should undertake these practices with the firm commitment from the mind. Okay, so go ahead. Tomorrow, okay.
Sanje Shindu Medieval Broken Namda Shinajivash Idang Guru
Ratna Mentala Kamni
Daya Me Chanju